What's up guys? Today we'll be checking out Cruella on 4K Blu-ray. Remember, this isn't a review on how good or bad the movie is. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and the video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 3.4 and 6.5K. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 134 minutes. Aspect ratio is 185:1, which will fill your TV screens. And the audio is in Dolby Atmos. Now, like most other Disney transfers, I did have to raise my volume about 10 dB to get it to the same level as other non-Disney movies. With that said, let's jump into the Atmos viewer and see what's going on in the mix. If you don't know what the Atmos viewer is, I'll leave a link for it in the video's description. As we can see here, this is mostly a static mix without any dynamically moving objects, which are those yellow balls. This particular scene takes place at a party, so you'll be able to hear a bunch of people running around in the back, with ELO playing in the background and through the top speakers. Despite there not being objects floating around, you do get surrounded in all directions, although I did feel it should have sounded more spacious. The musical bit around the hour 7-minute mark also fills the channels nicely, but I felt there was a lack of dynamics, which made the mix sound flat. There's also not a lot of bass. Another scene I thought should have been more dynamic was Cruella dying at her studio. I thought there'd be more flames and crackling coming through all the speakers, but it was mostly relegated to the lower channels. The one part that did have good movement was when those bugs came flying out of the dress. You could see this by all the yellow balls moving from front to back. As for video quality, I wouldn't say it's 4K crisp, even though it was shot in 6.5 and 3.4K. It's got a little softness to it, probably to take away some of the digital edge and give it a more film-like look. But there's still a ton of detail, so you can make out different textures in all those dresses and see all the facial features, etc. The CG dogs looked almost real until you really stare at them, but they did blend in great for the most part. As for HDR, this movie isn't going to blow you away with colors whatsoever. It's mostly blacks and grays and muted tones. The whole look kind of reminded me of the way the Joker looked, with maybe a little less teal. It's got a drab look with black levels that came across more grayish than black. I think if you have a display that can't handle black levels all that well, the shadow detail could look really muddy. Since the movie is so drab, the specular highlights do pop off the screen, so things like lights and reflective surfaces have this nice sparkle, and flames can make you squint. Now, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, then be sure to tap the subscribe button for new weekly videos. So for audio, I'm going to have to give it a 7.8. I felt center channel dialogue was strong and clear, but bass response was basically absent. And with a movie with something like over 40 different songs in it, I felt the entire mix was flat with a lack of deep spatial presence. All your speakers will be put to use for most of the movie. I just felt it wasn't as detail rich as I was hoping for. Still, it's a Disney mix, so it should really be no surprise. For video, I'm going to have to go with an 8.6. This is a clean, detailed transfer with a visual aesthetic that isn't going to impress everyone. It's got a specific look and I thought it looked great. HDR was bright when it had to be, and overall, I thought it was a solid looking movie. It was also more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. So those are my thoughts on Cruella on 4K Blu-ray. Have you guys seen it and what'd you think of the transfer? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Now, if you do want to grab this movie, I'll leave a link for it in the video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media. And if you want to support the channel, get exclusive content, or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video.